Sometimes danger creeps into our homes.
Mabel Puglisi just up and disappeared.
And sometimes we invite it in.
It was very dark, gloomy. There was no sign of life.
Oh my God!
If you did it right, you could get rid of a body and nobody ever find it.
In December 2008, Lakeland, Florida police searched the half-empty home of an 82-year-old retiree.
What did you say her name was again? I don't think she lives here anymore.
Mabel Puglisi hasn't been seen for 4 months. Friends and family have no idea where she is, and they're worried. Did something happen in this house? How could she just vanish into thin air?
So here's to our beautiful going away party, the best one I've ever had. Cheers.
In 2006, Mabel Puglisi, known as May to her friends, decides to sell her Connecticut house, leave everything behind, and move to Florida. This comes as a major blow to her tight-knit neighbors. They'll miss her terribly.
May was a kind, loving woman. Opened her heart and her home to anyone who needed it.
May was very, very trusting. She trusted everybody.
Mabel was a nice woman. She loved cooking. Her forte was baking. She loved having company.
My grandmother's kitchen was a typical Italian kitchen, always open to the neighbors, cooking all day long.
Mabel is leaving these close friends behind to be nearer to her 57-year-old daughter, Kathy.
Doing just wonderfully well.
They've had a troubled relationship for years, which makes some of Mabel's friends nervous.
Yeah. You can show everybody.
Kathy was the kind of person that would speak her mind. She didn't hold anything back. Where May was the opposite.
There was always a problem between Kathy and Aunt May's relationship.
It's clear Kathy has had some issues.
She was injured, I believe it was in a car accident. One thing led to another. She was in a lot of pain. There was a time where they thought she wasn't ever gonna walk again.
She had to take medication maybe to alleviate pain.
She had problems, but May always tried to see the best in her.
Her friends ask Mabel to reconsider, but she has already made up her mind.
She's got a lot of problems, May.
Yeah, but she needs me.
In Mabel's mind, she doesn't have a choice. Her 2 sons died years ago, one from a drug overdose and one from injuries sustained while in police custody. She doesn't want to leave Kathy's fate to chance.
She didn't elaborate on what taking care of Kathy meant, but she wanted to go down to take care of Kathy.
When Mabel moves out of her Connecticut home into her daughter's cramped trailer, it's a big adjustment.
Lakeland's a great area. It's in the center of Florida, but it definitely has more of a country aspect. It's definitely southern. It's not the beach, and it's definitely not Connecticut.
Well, when I first moved there, it was like been thrown back 30 years. It was a lot slower.
At first, Mabel has a hard time establishing the same sort of social life she enjoyed in Connecticut.
It's kind of hard to establish a friendship right away.
How about you, sir? A nice cookie for you? No?
She felt it wasn't as friendly to her as Connecticut had been.
She would complain about the old people, how they acted like they were old.
I don't know that she was comfortable there, and I think it was a life-changing event, and I don't know that she was ready for that.
But the Connecticut Yankee does make one friend, Eddie Whitaker.
Mabel and I were different than daylight and dark. She's a old lady from Connecticut, and I'm a redneck from right here. But we got along, and we got along good.
Kathy's small trailer is more manageable than Mabel's large home, but Mabel is still kept busy with housework.
May said that her daughter didn't do very much. She would have to do almost everything, clean and everything.
It almost felt like Aunt May was walking on eggshells when Kathy was around.
Soon, mother and daughter grow irritated with one another.
Where'd you put them?
Put what?
I left them by the coffee machine.
Then what?
Stop moving my things around!
She didn't seem too happy living in the close quarters with Kathy.
Both of them, Mabel and Kathy, they could get pushed in the corners pretty fast.
She wanted a little more space. It's very tight in a mobile home.
What have I done wrong? Don't walk away.
Mabel and Kathy agree that the trailer is too small. They decide to move.
So, do you like it?
I love it.
Oh, my darling, it's all yours. Yes. Oh.
When I first heard that they had bought a house, my first thought was, wow, she's in her 80s and she's buying a home right now.
I didn't think it was a very good idea, but that's what Kathy wanted, so May was trying to please Kathy, I think.
Mabel was putting up most of the front money.
My personal feeling was that Kathy was taking advantage of her mother. So I didn't really think it was a great idea.
The new house is a step up from Kathy's trailer. It's in a nicer neighborhood for one.
Nothing bad really happened there.
And is in a much better shape.
The house was only 4 years old, so it was fairly well kept up.
This spacious new house has everything Mabel and Kathy need to get their relationship back on track.
When she bought the house, she told me that this would bring her and her daughter closer together.
Because it gave them a little bit more room, quite a bit more room. And Mabel was on one side in the master bedroom, and Kathy was on the other side of the house. And they did seem to get along better.
Well, there's only one thing missing.
What's that?
Oh, a man. I mean, this
Mabel and Kathy would love for Kathy's sons, Travis and Morgan, to move in and help out around the house. There's only one problem. They're both in prison on burglary and fraud charges and won't be released for several years. But Kathy's sons have a solution in the short term. They introduce Mabel and Kathy to their friend and fellow inmate, Edward Caldwell.
Travis and Morgan had been telling us about this guy, Ed, that was a nice guy.
Ed was a friend of my brother and me. I had originally met him while I was in jail, and we both talked to each other and were making plans to start some type of business when we got out.
Soon enough, Kathy and Mabel start visiting Edward in jail along with the boys. They hope that when he's released in a few months, he can help their mother and grandmother.
I hope everyone's well. You look fantastic. You guys look like sisters.
Okay.
Over several visits, Mabel and Kathy get to know Edward quite well.
They came from foster homes. Apparently he was, fostered out as a young child, grew up in different programs and stuff for children, and didn't really have any family.
Well, now you have one right
That's
here.
so nice.
He was a put-upon child, abused, became a gangbanger, just was, somebody that my mother thought she could help.
May wasn't judgmental about anyone. She always found something good about me or anybody else.
And she didn't think that everyone that got arrested for a crime was necessarily a bad person, because my brothers had both gone to prison.
All right, see ya.
They start writing each other letters.
I would write home, my brother would write home, and Ed would write home. And we would all three get letters and mail back from my grandmother and my mother, just as if it were family.
After 5 months of corresponding, Edward's prison term ends.
He was going to get out soon, and he would be needing a room to rent.
Mabel invites Edward to move into the now empty trailer, and in return, he will help her and Kathy around their house.
We were both stuck being incarcerated, so we could not move there and help my grandmother out like we had wanted. So Ed moved there instead.
On October 1st, 2007, Edward is released from Rayford Prison. But instead of going straight to Mabel's, Edward goes out on the town.
We later found out that each prisoner that gets let out of prison gets $100, and he had money, and he probably went and partied.
Finally, a day or two later, Kathy gets a phone call from Ed in the middle of the night. When he asks Kathy to pick him up, she hesitates, but Mabel insists.
She was so flipped that she's like, go pick him up, go pick him up.
Right away, Edward starts acting like a member of the family.
Honey, I'm home!
Much to Kathy's annoyance.
He called her Nana. Nana. Nana, would you like me to do this? Nana, would you like this? Nana, would you like something to drink?
You got your hair all done up too?
Did you notice?
I noticed. It's my job to notice.
You're dumb.
Ed basically told Aunt May that he was a long-lost grandson of hers.
I don't think it's your grandson. She said, yeah. And I said, how did that happen? Oh, Henry, before he died, he have a boyfriend.
My brother Billy had gone to Arizona, and he had hitchhiked back and forth a couple of times.
He implied to May that for all May knew, her son could have an illegitimate son somewhere.
It's a pretty unlikely story, but for whatever reason, Mabel chooses to believe it.
Do you see a resemblance?
It's you. I mean,
you
She's thrilled to have a long-lost relative in her home.
You are my real Nana.
in my heart that would...
While Mabel is hitting it off with Edward, Kathy definitely is not. And tensions in the house are about to get heated.
We were just arguing about everything.
My thought was that Kathy had done something wrong and it was better off that she wasn't there.
Ex-con Edward Caldwell moves in with 81-year-old Mabel Pugliese and her daughter Kathy. At first, everything goes well, but 3 quickly becomes a crowd.
I bought you some stuff.
Well, thanks, but no.
I'm just doing you a favor.
Well, I'm not really into those brands, so.
What brands are you into?
Not those.
He wanted top-of-the-line stuff. He wanted expensive sneakers. He wanted the best bike. He wanted best of everything.
Mabel happily indulges Edward's champagne taste.
Where'd you get that?
Nana bought it for me.
He talked her into buying an $800 bicycle.
Ah, he's not living here.
And I was undone. I mean, you can get a used car for $800. Come on.
You're not buying him expensive gifts.
I can do whatever I want with my money. That clear? Good.
Tensions in the house start to rise, pitting Kathy against Mabel and Edward.
You're acting like a fool. This is not normal.
Oh, sweetheart, there you are. Come on in, darling. Make me a nice
it's just
one.
like
He would cozy up to her and just, you know, be there for her every word.
To you.
It's a good time.
That's a good.
Ed spends a lot of time with Mabel, excluding Kathy whenever possible.
After he was there for a little while, she would talk to me about how helpful he was around the house. You know, he'd go to the store, he'd help do errands.
What are you guys watching?
Nothing you'd like.
How do you know what I like?
Well, for one thing, it's not cartoons.
He was basically sidestep around my mother and, you know, butt her up and control my grandmother.
Want some orange juice?
The more she argued with him, the more the mother went towards his side.
Ed's ability to control a situation or just be like the dominant leader of a situation was very powerful.
To keep Mabel happy, Edward plays bartender.
You're all ready for another one.
Ah, you betcha.
Kathy's convinced that he's winning her affection with alcohol, and she's not impressed. Alcohol is not what this 81-year-old needs.
I already told you. No booze.
I shared with him that not only was my mother on painkillers for her osteoporosis and arthritis, but she was on Coumadin and heart pressure pills, and she needed to have the pills at certain times, and they were not to be taken with alcohol.
Aunt May was not an alcoholic by any means, but she enjoyed a cocktail. She enjoyed her orange juice and vodka, and she was old enough to have a cocktail whenever she wanted to.
I said, look, the lady's 80 years old. Let her do what she wants to do.
Fed up, Kathy gives Ed an ultimatum.
And you're out of here. He's never going to be out of here because he gives me what I like.
He had 3 days to get his butt over to the trailer and start living there where he belonged and not in the house with us because of the conflict that was going on and the evil air that was in the house.
Ed ignores her. When some of Kathy's things go missing, she immediately suspects him.
Stop taking my stuff!
He would take things of mine that were left out in the den or in the living room or in the kitchen.
She constantly came over and complained about, her jewelry was missing, her computers were missing.
Jesus, grow up.
He started pushing me around when he'd go by me. He'd shoulder me, or he'd take his hand and shove me a little bit.
Mabel can't help but notice the tension.
What's the matter with you?
She was upset because the whole atmosphere in the house had completely and totally changed. It had suddenly become very, very thick.
3 weeks after Edward moves in, Kathy discovers a bottle of vodka in her mother's room. She decides that Edward has crossed the line.
Ed!
I was upset. I was coming out of the room and Ed was coming down the hallway.
What the hell are you giving my mom alcohol for?
Come on, it's just a little drink.
She's getting drunk.
It's a little drink. Let her have her fun.
It's
Just a little bit of fun. It's just a little drink. It's no big deal.
She's getting drunk in the middle of the day. She's not supposed to be doing stuff like this. It's not
Just as Mabel steps in, the confrontation turns violent.
I'm gonna have a talk with my mom and get you are bad. I'm gonna get you out of here.
Mabel falls to the ground and cuts her head.
Oh my God.
Kathy helps clean her up and puts her to bed.
Yeah. This is a real mess.
I pulled up the covers and we both walked out of the bedroom.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be here for sure, so, of course. Thank you.
What was that?
You better get in your car and go.
Why?
That was 911. They're sending an ambulance. And the cops.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you'd better leave.
Within minutes, the cops arrive.
Nice, sir. Hi, God. Is there any problem? Not shh, it's Fred. I was just coming out of the kitchen to bring Mabel something to drink, and for no reason she suddenly gets violent. And she starts. She gets violent, and she pushed into Mabel.
Pushed me.
And Mabel fell down and
then
hit her head.
See what
she gets hysterical. She gets hysterical.
Fell down.
Let him finish.
Ed was very on point. He had answers rapidly for everything. Another officer was over at the kitchen garbage can questioning me as to whether or not I had disposed of the bloody evidence in the garbage.
Why are you taking that?
This is evidence, ma'am.
I'm not trying to hide anything. It's paper towel. What is I supposed to do with it?
I'm not very nice to police officers. I still believe that my brother was murdered by them.
She's always been a tight, uptight girl. And
Finally, the police question Mabel directly.
Is she the one who pushed you down, ma'am?
Yes, I know her touch, and I know it was her.
After talking to her, they were more swayed by Edward Caldwell's version of events than Kathy.
The cops have reason to believe Kathy poses a threat to her mother.
You're under arrest for the assault on Mabel Pugliese. Do you understand your rights?
I spoke with May, and she told me and was very adamant about what had happened.
What are you doing? I
I didn't hit her!
I just arrived home from work. Edward called me over and says that Kathy got arrested. And I said, why? And he says, because she fell and Kathy had pushed her.
Mabel is taken to the hospital later, where it becomes clear that her hip is broken. Still in police custody, Kathy is unable to see her. Mabel gets hip replacement surgery.
Here we go.
After a month of rehab, Mabel returns home. Kathy never visits. With Kathy out of the house, things should improve, but they don't.
A restraining order was issued against her.
He just promised me that Kathy wouldn't hurt her ever again.
I had went over there one day and knocked and knocked and knocked, and no one ever came.
After Mabel Pugliese suffers a nasty fall, her daughter Kathy is arrested for elder abuse. Following a month-long stay in the hospital, the 81-year-old moves back home with Edward Caldwell, an ex-con who claims to be her grandson. Kathy has been out of police custody for several weeks, but she's not permitted to visit her mother.
A restraining order was issued against her, and she was no longer allowed to, be with her mother.
I was absolutely taken aback by this situation. I mean, not even by mail or phone. Could I speak to my own mother and try and get things straightened out?
To keep Mabel safe, Edward keeps a close watch on things. When Kathy attempts to visit their neighbor, he immediately alerts the authorities.
The police came to my house that night. They said that we heard that Kathy was here. I said, no, she's not here. And he said, can we search the premises? I said, sure. And they searched the premises and left.
He's the sweetest thing in the world.
Back at Mabel's, she and Edward grow closer and closer.
Oh, here he is. I'll call you back in a little while. Okay, bye.
How about a little soup?
I love some.
Here you go.
May was telling me how good he was to her and how he would cook for her. He would bring May soups. Many times when I was on the phone talking with her, she would say, oh, here comes Ed. He's bringing me some soup.
My feeling was it was a good fit. May was happy. He needed somewhere to be. It made the family bigger.
Once in a while, she says, stop, I want to tell you something. He's so nice. Oh, he's just like my own son.
After Mabel is released from the hospital, her former nurse, Linda, visits several times a week.
She did mention that there was a nurse coming over regularly. When May first got home and the first time I talked to her, she was comfortable and happy.
And Mabel keeps buying things for Ed.
And surprise! Ha! Now I want you to take that and buy yourself the biggest, most beautiful pickup truck in the world. And
one day she called me, she said, oh, I bought a truck. Guess what color? Blue. And I said, did you put in your name? And she said, no, I put in his name because we need it. He's gonna drive me all over.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me.
Oh, I want to do it again.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, go.
He didn't like old trucks. So he had put in for a new truck. And Mabel bought him a new truck.
My grandmother would never do those things on her own. She would never okay or help to pay for that much stuff for anyone. She was too tight with her money, too frugal with her money.
He told people that these were things that she wanted to do for him, that these were all, her idea, and that she was doing it as gifts and to be nice and to support him.
2 months after her fall, Mabel also updates her will, cutting Kathy out and putting Edward in as a beneficiary.
You have been as generous and kind and loving to me.
With him being listed first, then my brother, then myself, and my mother being listed last, with her payment to be $1.
Thank you. This is for you, dear boy. For the rest of your life, you'll be a happy man and a safe man.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
My opinion was that if Ed's gonna take care of May, then that's fine. I honestly thought if he's gonna take her for everything she's got when she dies, as long as she's happy and taken care of, that's fine with me.
Mabel also adds him to her bank account, granting him joint access to her savings and Social Security deposits.
Thank you very much.
So we can see that just over a very short span of months, lots of resources that were the property and possession of Mabel Puglisi were suddenly benefiting Edward Caldwell.
Around the same time, Eddie Whitaker drops by to visit.
It had been a while since I had saw either one of them. And so I had went over there one day and knocked and knocked and knocked and knocked and knocked on the door. And no one ever came. I came back another day, probably a day or two later, knocked and knocked, and no one would come to the door. And I heard a noise inside.
Hey, I can see you. Next time I knock, I'm coming through.
Hey, sorry we were in the back. I didn't hear you.
Where's Mabel?
She's... Come on in.
Ed!
Mabel, honey.
Mabel, she's always trying to give you something to eat or something to drink. She's always trying to take care of her company. I told her, I said, sit down here. I said, I don't need anything. And Ed was sitting in the corner like Buddha, watching over. And then their nurse that they had supplied Mabel with, she came in and her mouth was just yammering.
It seems that Mabel's nurse has more than one reason for being there.
She was giving Ed kisses on the face and stuff and telling him all this and telling him all that.
What do you say we have a little toast?
Oh, good.
Here's to new friends and getting rid of the old.
Oh, no. No. Don't say that. No, that's not true. That's not
I
true.
told Mabel, I said, I'm gonna go now. I said, you getting the whole crowd in this house. I said, I'm gonna go.
Oh, please, Ed. Ed, please stay. Ed.
To make sure that Kathy doesn't call, Ed monitors Mabel's phone calls and rarely allows her to speak on the phone.
No. Hello? No, she's taking a nap right now.
But I want to talk to my friend.
All right. I'll tell her.
But I want to talk to my friend, dear.
The phone calls got to be less and less. The phone was answered less and less. Or the phone calls were fielded by Ed. And I was told that my grandmother was either sick or lying down or asleep or high on meds or something like that.
So that my mother thought that none of her friends from Connecticut were calling her, when in fact they were.
The only person who doesn't call is Kathy. 6 months after he moves in March of 2008, with Mabel's financial support, Edward opens a tattoo parlor.
He wanted to go in business for herself and he tattoos, and Mabel, she went all the way with that.
Mabel's family and friends are taken aback.
There's nothing that would lead me to believe that my grandmother would think buying a tattoo shop is a good idea.
What's an 82, 84-year-old lady gonna do in a tattoo parlor?
I felt this is just getting a little out of control now. She bought a house, she's buying tattoo parlors at 80-something years old. I mean, who does that?
There was just more of Mabel's resources going to things that Edward Caldwell was interested and wanted, including a down payment for a tattoo business. And if your grandmother believes in you and supports you, she might help you with a business even if she's not fully aware of what it is.
Just sign it and everything's gonna be okay, all right?
Okay. 2 months later, Mabel signs over power of attorney to Edward, allowing him to act on her behalf in all legal and financial matters.
Mabel just said that was what she wanted to do, and she appeared to be of sound mind at the time.
Eventually, Edward disconnects the home phone line, redirecting all phone calls to his tattoo parlor. This leaves Mabel no way to get in touch with her friends. Her only contact is her former nurse, Linda, who still visits several times a week.
I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well. There's nobody here. I'm so alone. I have no telephone.
This nurse was at the house with her, and I guess Aunt May said that she wanted to make a phone call to her friends and family in Connecticut.
May's nurse called Jerry one day, then handed the phone to May because May wasn't allowed to use the phone anymore.
Mabel doesn't sound like her usual self.
Yeah, it's me.
Her tone was different. She tried to act as though things were good, but the fact that she had to sneak this call was worrisome to me.
She usually liked to talk for a while, talk about different things, but her conversation was short. May's conversation was very short.
And thank you.
Well, already? We just... No, May, what do you mean you have to go now? Why do you have to go? May, what do you... Oh my God. Mom, you gotta see this.
Linda also sends photos of Mabel to the Salvatores.
May looked very, very frail, very ill. She had lost a lot of weight, and she looked a lot different. May looked a lot different.
I felt as though something had to be done. Something needed to be said because it just didn't seem right.
Yeah, right, no, absolutely, no.
After trying a few times, Jerry finally gets in touch with Edward at the tattoo parlor.
Of course.
She explains that she's concerned about Mabel.
He just promised me that he would be taking care of her and that he loved her and he was going to watch over her and make sure that Kathy wouldn't hurt her ever again.
Well, of course, I can understand.
But Edward is not happy about Jerry's interference, and he makes his irritation known.
Okay, bye.
That was probably the last time I spoke to him, because then he told Aunt May that he and I had words and that I was nasty to him and that she shouldn't ever speak to me again.
And soon the tension in the house ratchets higher and higher.
She was totally isolated in the house. The locks were changed. Somehow she could not open the doors. She could not use the telephone.
May?
As Edward Caldwell shields 82-year-old Mabel Pugliese from the outside world, her friends start to worry. Mabel's nurse, Linda, has been banned from the house by Edward. Their affair is over. But since she's the only person besides Edward Mabel's friends know, they ask her to check up on her.
My daughter called, talked to Linda, and asked her to go check on the house.
When she got there, she said she was at the door. The blinds were closed. It was very dark, gloomy. She said there was no sign of life.
May? She's knocking on the door. She's calling May, but nobody's answering.
Mabel can't come to the door. Edward has started locking her in her bedroom for her own good.
Please let me come outside. Here, I'm here. Look down.
May?
Still locked in the house, one July day, Mabel manages to get the attention of her neighbor, Sue Cook.
I heard her yelling from the sliding glass door in the back of their house. And I couldn't see very well, that's all you could see.
Oh my God!
So I went back in and I called the police.
When the cops show up at the house, Mabel appears to be somewhat out of it.
You have to look in the kitchen and you'll see all the marks and it's all there.
She's,
What?
she's on several medications.
When they talked to Edward Caldwell, he appeared calm and said that she was just having a sort of a deteriorating mental condition, was hallucinating, and he was just genuinely, concerned about her.
But then, why do you pull out the telephone so that I can't?
Did you pull out the telephone line?
Hey man, she thinks there's bombs in the walls too.
Ed told them that Mabel was suffering from sundowners syndrome, which is sort of my understanding, the early stages of Alzheimer's.
Ma'am, we'll make sure to mention this in our report.
Thank you.
Once again, the cops believe Edward's story. Even so, the incident is reported to the Department of Children and Families, and soon after, a DCF agent checks in on Mabel.
So, as far as everything is concerned, Ed is taking wonderful care of me. He's just being kind and helpful, and I'm completely content with my life.
When DCF goes to talk to her, she does appear to be okay, but they are concerned that she is in need of some services, that she could use help with someone coming into her home, I think with like a Meals on Wheels type of assistance.
In the weeks after this visit, the DCF and Adult Services for the Aging try to get in touch with Mabel, but they're unable to find her.
They either can't get a hold of Mabel, they get the Tattoo Avenue recording when they call her phone, or Ed answers and says that she's doing okay.
Around the same time, Ed's new girlfriend, Karen Sanders, moves in.
Where's Nana?
Oh, she's up at the nursing home.
Okay.
Up north, yeah. Yeah, come on in.
Thanks.
Finally, the DCF agent gets a call from Edward in response to their many messages.
Yeah, hi, this is Edward. Yeah, I know you've been trying to contact me for a while now, and
To his surprise, Edward claims that Mabel has moved to Maine and that he has no contact info for her.
All right.
A week later, Mabel's house goes up for sale. A month after that, Edward closes his tattoo parlor. Hoping to find out more, a DCF agent goes looking for Mabel's family members. He speaks to Kathy Cameron, who hasn't seen her mother in months.
What happened?
He tells Kathy that Mabel has moved to Maine.
It's impossible. She only knows people in Connecticut.
I immediately told him that my mother knew absolutely no one in Maine.
The only place my grandmother would have gone would have been Connecticut, but she has nowhere to go there. She already sold her house that she lived in for over 60 years. Why would she go back to Connecticut and leave behind a home that she just bought?
Kathy starts to get worried. Maybe the DCF agent or Edward just made a mistake. She wants to speak to Mabel's friends in Connecticut, but she doesn't have their contact information since it's in her mother's house, who she is still legally forbidden from contacting.
I couldn't do anything. I still had the restraining order. So I had to wait until I was released by the court. My attorney did not want me to contact anyone about anything.
Luckily, Kathy finally finds an old card from her mother's friend, Kelly Lavoie. With the phone number inside, she finally has a way to check on her mother.
I called Kelly Lavoie. She was puzzled because she said my mother was still in Florida.
The first question she asked me was, have you seen my mother? I hadn't seen her mother, and I told her, I'm up here in Connecticut. I haven't been down to Florida.
Worried for Mabel's well-being, her friends urge Kathy to contact the police.
You guys are real jerks, you know?
But when she does, they are extremely dismissive.
They would not listen to me. They said, you still have a restraining, even though the charge was dropped, you still have a restraining order in effect.
It conflicted with the, what initially people thought was a very, sweet guy who was taking care of a woman who was getting on in years.
Kathy reports this development to Mabel's friends.
Hi, Kelly.
And they respond by placing several calls to the Lakeland police themselves.
You think Mabel Pugliese is missing? Can you spell that, please?
Thanks to the pressure from Mabel's Connecticut friends, the police take a new interest in Kathy's story.
detective came to the house and told me that they were indeed now taking it seriously and that they were in fact at this time in the house searching it.
Inside Mabel's home, her possessions are nowhere to be found, and it becomes clear that Edward has taken over the master bedroom.
I don't think she lives here anymore.
When they went into the home, they really didn't find any trace of her in there. The only thing that they were able to find was a cane that apparently belonged to her.
Bingo.
The house just looked like a bachelor pad, the whole place. There was nothing in the place that looked like an 82-year-old woman had lived there.
When they question Edward about Mabel's departure, he can't get his story straight.
She could be in Portland or Maine or something like that. I think I heard she was with Kathy's ex-husband or something.
First, he told them to go check with Kathy Cameron's ex-husband over in Palmetto. When they went to go talk to him, he said he didn't know where she was.
They get like 4 or 5 stories right off the bat, and each time they follow up on that, they fail to find Mabel.
While questioning Edward, the police find one of his comments particularly suspicious.
I got no reason to harm her.
Why would you say that?
Because I already got everything.
But if Edward already has everything, what's happened to Mabel?
If Mabel Puglisi had died through, innocent means or through natural causes, why didn't he just contact authorities and let them know that?
With Mabel Puglisi missing, police in Lakeland, Florida grow increasingly suspicious of her young housemate, ex-con Edward Caldwell.
I got no idea.
While searching Mabel's house, police discover a bottle of her pills in Edward's possession.
Wait a sec. Mabel Pugliese, I found some prescription drugs.
This gives them a reason to arrest him while they dig a little deeper.
They had found prescription drugs that he was in possession of, and they were not in his name, so he was not legally in possession of them. They charged him with the possession of those drugs.
So they were able to put him in jail on those charges and were able to continue to try to, search for Mabel and to see what had happened to her.
Police have already spoken to Mabel's Connecticut friends and disproved Edward's claim that Mabel left town with them. There is no way he could have been her grandson either.
When he told her his age and the time that the brothers died, it was like a big 2 years difference. He was born 2 years after they were dead.
After speaking with Mabel's physician, they also learned that Edward was also lying about Mabel's struggle with Alzheimer's.
He had never seen any signs of that.
There was never any indication of Alzheimer's. My mother was quite sharp, as a matter of fact.
Whenever I spoke with May, she was always very clear and on subject. She never seemed fuzzy about what she was saying.
All right, so in your own words, tell me what happened.
Okay. First of all, I went into a room and I saw...
Even Mabel's fall in October 2007 proves to be less cut and dry than police first thought.
So I confronted him, and I said, what are you doing plowing my mother with drinks? And then she got in the middle of this fight that we had because I was finally confronting the guy. And then he pushes me, for no reasons. Next thing I know, my mother's on the ground, but I didn't push her. I know I didn't push her, but
she said someone pushed her, but she didn't see who pushed her.
And for no reason, she suddenly gets violent.
The cops took Ed's story at face value and said that my mom pushed her and got my mom arrested.
There he was with Mabel, who was half-crocked on the booze and pills and stuff that he was feeding her. And Ed kept telling her, he said, well, she knocked you down, she knocked you down.
I can't believe Kathy pushed you like that.
And she said, no. He said, oh, yeah, she knocked you down. Okay, well, she knocked me down. But most of that was brought on by the pills and alcohol.
I've got the police coming. Yeah. And I think we should think about Kathy not living here anymore.
I did not push my mother. She fell, and it was because of Ed and I pushing each other and physically shoving around behind her.
He knew that if he could just get Kathy out of the picture, he'd have free rein to take advantage of this old woman.
But there's still no sign of Mabel.
If you look at it from the detective's point of view, if Mabel Puglisi had died through innocent means or through natural causes, Why didn't he just contact authorities and let them know that?
As the investigation continues, police speak to Edward's girlfriend about Mabel's whereabouts.
Said Caldwell sent her up to a nursing home.
And when she questioned Caldwell, he said she had gone up north. He put her in a nursing home up north.
Karen also recalls a suspicious remark Edward made one afternoon while driving just outside of Lakeland.
He had pointed to or noticed a desolate area, and it seemed to be remote and secluded, and he said that would be a nice place to hide a body.
Police search the area with cadaver dogs, but find no trace of Mabel.
In Florida, there's lots of different places you can get rid of a person's body, and there are many different critters that can scatter a person's remains, including alligators.
Police have hit a dead end. With no body, all the evidence they have is circumstantial. Then, 10 weeks after Edward's arrest, a lucky break. Seems that Edward Caldwell has been telling tales to his fellow inmates.
I'll kill you like I killed that old lady.
He said that he had disposed of her body in an orange grove and had done so because he'd hoped that the scent of the fruit would mask the decaying scent of her body.
But despite these leads, there's still no sign of Mabel.
Without a body and a cause of death, it would be very hard to show that there was a premeditated killing or a second-degree murder.
There's no shortage of theories about how Mabel might have died.
Maybe he had either gave her an overdose or he strangled her. Maybe she died in her sleep from, having her medications controlled. Maybe he did it himself.
I think the most likely thing would be strangling or suffocation, since the whole house was searched and there wasn't any blood. This is a very rural place. There are orange groves all over the place. There are lakes and alligators, and there's just all kind of things like that if you did it right, you could get rid of a body and nobody ever find it.
And when you do, you're gonna land hard. Look, I know where Mabel Pugliese is, but you're gonna have to earn your little detective money to find out.
Since the body is still missing, the prosecution doesn't charge Edward with murder. Instead, prosecutor John Aguero charges him with negligent manslaughter.
There were a series of other charges, including theft and uttering a forgery.
At that point, he told us that he would not take a plea deal unless Ed told them where May's body was.
The day before the trial is scheduled to begin, Edward's lawyer makes a proposal.
His lawyer came to me and said that he wanted to plead.
And then the day that we were all flying down for the trial, we got a phone call from his office that Ed had gotten a plea deal. And my thought at the time was, okay, we're getting May back. And we never got May back. And it was pretty tough.
Whenever we as prosecutors are faced with a case in which the proof is difficult and there's some offer by the defense, then you have to seriously consider it.
He only got 13 years because they couldn't find the body.
With no body and nothing but circumstantial evidence, the prosecution decides it's better to compromise on a plea than risk an acquittal.
Edward Caldwell accepted a plea deal with the state attorney's office in exchange for pleading no contest to aggravated manslaughter, neglect of an elderly person, exploitation of an elderly person, and 3 counts each of theft, forgery, and uttering a forgery.
While all of this is unfolding, Mabel's house goes into foreclosure.
I could not do anything about the foreclosure of the house because Edward Lee Caldwell's name was still on the house when mine was not.
For Mabel's friends and family, nothing will ever be the same.
Kathy's life totally was destroyed, from losing her money, jewelry, trust fund, mother. It was destroyed. She lost everything.
I'm appalled at the fact that He has never had to admit when he pled guilty to manslaughter that he did, in fact, slaughter my mother, and that he refuses to this date to even allow me to bury her remains.
I want to be able to bring flowers to her grave. I want to be able to visit her on Halloween like she loved. I want to be able to go talk to her. And I don't have anything.
I still miss Mabel. And that's about it. I just miss her.